If you had told me 2 months ago that we would be making this documentary, I don't think I would have believed you. The documentary has gone through a lot of changes. We started off doing it on Cork Drag, and then due to complications we had to change our approach. Then we were all set to go to Cape Clear on the 27th of March to film an entire documentary on the life of Cape Clear. And then nobody could have expected what happened next.
So in December of last year, a mysterious virus broke out in Wuhan, China, that is highly contagious and in some cases fatal. So this started to spread throughout the world, but the Irish being the way we are, we never imagined that it was going to reach our small island. But sure enough it did. On the 29th of February we got our first case, and within 10 days there were 34 cases in Ireland.
The 12th of March was when everything changed. All colleges and schools across the country were told that by 6 p.m. that evening they had to be shut down. And then Patrick's Day was also coming around the corner, so more serious action had to be taken. Pubs were closed and parades were cancelled. And in a St. Patrick's Day briefing, Leo Varadkar declared that this was the calm before the storm. And now we know that he was right.
So clearly this whole thing has had a huge impact on every aspect of life, including college work. So we just have to try and make the best of a bad situation. So here we are.
Okay, so yesterday on the 21st of March, myself and my family went up to Cork to move out my stuff from my apartment for the last time. We basically got an email that said anyone that could should move out for the 21st. So it was really weird to go up for the last time and clear everything out, and knowing that I should have been there for way longer. And before we left Cork, we went for a drive-through at McDonald's, and it was ridiculously busy. It took ages because there was just so many cars going through. And it's funny because now I just read that McDonald's and some other fast food places are closing on Monday, so we got in just before the closure.
So it is the 26th of March today, and we are exactly 2 weeks into isolation. I'm cracking up, to say the least. My entire family is at home. Everyone's working in their different corners of the house, working from home, and we're fit to kill each other. All the days are just blending into one. I have no concept of time anymore because I'm not doing anything different any day, but there's just no routine. This is just a very strange time.
So the stage that myself and my family are at right now is that, me and my mom aren't working, and I don't think the hotel will be opening for a long time. And my dad, he can't work from home, so he's had to get set up on the unemployment payment as well. I helped him sign up for it today online, so basically no one in the house is working anymore.
We've had to lay off some temporary people in our work, and in my own profession it's been really hard because we have to reduce all our inventory, and we have to work with suppliers to do that, and it's taken us a long time to do it, and it's going to be a long road ahead.
I've lost my job. First of all, I'm on the COVID-19 payment. Well, I'm trying to keep people interested, so I've tried to do some Facebook and tried to put up a few videos to keep the public interested in the clothing aspect of the company.
So I'm on my break now, and I've never seen the place so quiet in my entire life. It's really creepy. So I just got done with work there, and my hands are torn to shreds from all the hand sanitizer I have to be using. So I work in a pharmacy, which is obviously one of the few places that's actually still open, and it's inside a shopping centre that is normally packed. I work on Saturday, so it's normally extra packed, but there's nowhere else open except another pharmacy and health shops. So there's just nobody in the centre at all, and it's very apocalyptic, and some people still don't seem to get the whole social distancing thing, so I'm very conscious. It's like an obstacle course, having to run around the shop avoiding people and stepping back and letting somebody else go. I'm so grateful to still have the job, because so many people lost their jobs recently. Debenhams closed the other day for good all over Ireland. That's hundreds, if not more, jobs lost. but it is just a bit scary having to go out into the world. You know, I could still catch it, touch wood, in that one day, but yeah, it's kind of very, very scary.
So the college is shut down 2 weeks and 2 days ago. I've had to isolate since Tuesday after that because I was a suspected case. So I spent that whole week hanging out with my boyfriend, and then on Tuesday we found out that his brother was confirmed. So the doctors told them that their whole household pretty much 100% has it, and if he has it, then I definitely had it. So it's been a long process. It's been 2 weeks. Like on Tuesday it'll be 2 weeks, but he still hasn't been tested. His mom has, and she hasn't gotten the results. But if he were to get a test now, he'd probably come up negative, so it's not worth it. His brother had very, very mild symptoms, things that you wouldn't even notice unless you were aware that maybe you had coronavirus. And I just know that my boyfriend said he felt the same. I don't know if it was brought into my family because I don't know if he had it. There was 3 days for me, 3 days for my boyfriend, 3 days for his brother, where we just felt really bad. I went for a walk and had to come home after 10 minutes because I just felt really worn out and tired. My doctors put me on the list for testing, and the next day was when they changed it, that they changed the credentials so that you're supposed to have a fever and another symptom and be in direct contact with someone who has it. So I was kicked off the list for testing the day after I was put on it by my doctor. We came out of isolation after 2 weeks. It was really scary at the start when it was like, oh, we might have coronavirus, because you don't know who it could really, really affect. Whereas we were so lucky that of the two households, mine and his, nobody was very sick. We isolated the second we found out about it up until the point where we knew that we didn't have it anymore. It is frustrating when, that could have been a complete false alarm. None of us might have had it besides his brother. There's just such a high demand for tests, and they're under so much pressure in the test centres and the hospitals and everything. We're just lucky that nobody was severely sick or anything, and everyone's okay now, and everyone's over it now.
Tonight I want to speak to you about the next stage of our national response to the coronavirus emergency. When I spoke to you on St. Patrick's Day, I said that more actions would be required in the coming weeks to slow the spread of the virus. We believe that now is the time for these further actions.
Oh.
So with effect from midnight tonight, for a 2-week period until Easter Sunday, April 12th, everybody must stay at home in all circumstances, except for the following situations. All public and private gatherings of any number of people outside a single household or living unit are prohibited. The virus might be in your household already, so please don't spread it to somebody else's.
How do you feel about the thing being on lockdown?
How do I feel?
Yeah, just give me...
Stunned.
Stunned, okay.
I think it's probably a good thing because it will stop it.
Uh-huh.
It will stop the spread. We would have to stay in our own homes now. This is the ultimate. This is what it took.
I knew the second that I was free from isolation that the whole place would go on lockdown and we'd have to isolate anyway. So it's been annoying because I haven't been able to use these 2 weeks to, go for walks with friends or see anyone, and I've just been hanging out with my family. I've been trying to go for a walk at least once a day and try to do something productive every day. It's hard to not see an end of it as well. So when it keeps just getting worse and worse and you don't know when this is all going to be over, it's harder to kind of be hopeful for when it's over because you don't know when that is. That's why I'm finding it most difficult about it. So it's the first day that I'm allowed leave the house, and then my dad was going to pick up something from work and he was like, oh, do you want to come for the spin? And I was like, yeah, no worries. And on the Skahard Road, the guards were there. I didn't realise how seriously they were enforcing this, but they stopped everyone and asked where they were going. We had to explain where we lived and where we were going and why. It's not something you think that you're gonna have to encounter, but then when it happens, it's doesn't feel real.
What's he doing that? I think the most interesting thing about this whole situation is that in spite of everything, the whole world is going through the exact same thing right now. And everyone is still finding ways to keep themselves entertained and stay connected and keep spirits up.
If this doesn't sum it up, I don't know what does.
So today is April Fool's Day, and what idea did we come up with?
Put Daniel O'Donnell everywhere.
Why?
Because why not?
Look at that majestic beauty. Daniel O'Donnell is now part of the family.
This is what you meant!
It took so hard to notice it.
In every single room.
April Fools!
I kind of like the fact that we're together in the house. Sometimes, you know, that your kids can't get away from you, and we're having fun times, and you know, you can get close at times like this.
I think it's time to reflect, get to connect with your family. Over the last couple of weeks, it's been good.
So one of the upsides to having failed to make the drag documentary is that it got me into watching the TV show RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm following along with the new season, but I'm also watching some old ones as well. So at least that's one upside to failing to make the drag queen documentary, is that at least led me to a really good show to binge during isolation.
Happy birthday to you.
Do you take a picture of him, Lorna?
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you.
So we're having lunch outside because it's a beautiful day and we couldn't go anywhere because of the lockdown. So we decided to just have lunch in the garden instead and pretend that we're somewhere nice.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Another visitor. Aren't you lucky, Aoife?
Happy birthday to you.
The measures, which are set to expire after April 12th, are being extended for 3 weeks until Tuesday, May 5th.
So today's message is that we cannot be complacent. We cannot lose focus. What we're doing is difficult, but it is making a difference, and we have to keep going. We need to persevere, and we need to maintain our discipline and resolve.
The Taoiseach also said today that the current restrictions in place won't be eased in one go. He said when it does happen, it will be bit by bit.
Everyone's favourite man right now, Leo Varadkar, just made another announcement today saying the current restrictions are going to be in place until May 5th. We've been doing this since the 12th of March, so it's been 30 days since we started. By the 5th of May, it will have been 55 days. 55 days of isolation. Honestly, the 5th of May is actually earlier than I expected, but it's just very disheartening just having it actually happen.
They might just on the 5th of May decide that we need to be on lockdown longer, or they might see that it's working and kind of lift the restrictions back a bit to where they were a few weeks ago, or I really don't know.
At this stage, I think everyone's just impatient and they want to get back to how things were, but we'll never get back there if people don't, follow these guidelines. We have to get through this first before we can go back to where we were.
So I feel like I've been dwelling a lot on all the things that have been cancelled because of all this, but I think, I need to just be a bit more positive and think about all the things that I'm looking forward to being able to finally do again. Once it's all over, I'm going to get the biggest group of friends I can together. We're going to go for the fanciest 3-course meal we can afford, and I'll just see people again. I'll just enjoy being around people again.
The thing that I'm looking forward to the most when all this is over is just to be able to see my friends and my family, be able to hug them again.
Nice pint of Guinness in the pub. Obviously enough meal with my wife, obviously football, soccer, any sport really.
To see my boyfriend and my friends and family. I miss my boyfriend a lot. I want to give my friends a big hug.
I'm looking forward to getting back to normal.
Seeing my best friends, seeing my friends from work, going back to work, seeing all the locals, catching up, pouring a few pints.
Today's my birthday, I turned 22, and what I'm most looking forward to after lockdown is getting to go celebrate with my friends and family. Maybe go for a meal and some drinks.
Sports and my friends the most. I think it's hard from going from being in school every day to just not meeting them at all.
Seeing my friends, I think I genuinely will start crying when I see them again.
Once lockdown is over, I can't wait to see my grandparents again. Definitely going up to Kerry to see my nana as well.
Going back to work and being able to sit on the bus again. I miss the bus.
I can't wait to visit my grandparents.
I want to be able to go near my nana, which I haven't been able to do since February, and give her a hug.
To see my friends and extended family again, and to give them hugs and kisses and just the physical affection side of it all. It provides you with a sense of comfort and stability that we don't have right now.
But for now, I will all just have to wait.